Hey, Pete here from Growth Models. So, in a lot of the content I produce, I talk about, let's make my face bigger, talk about, how you have to understand your audience, right? And the best method for that, obviously, is if you have happy customers. What you can do with those happy customers is get them on the phone, incentivize them to jump on a call, and you're really looking to find out a couple of things, the pain point, the stress that they feel, what they want solved, the moment of highest tension, which is what caused them to then go and look for a solution. Like, what was that straw that broke the camel's back? Any anxieties they have around the solution, or that it's being caused to them by the problem. The end goal, the benefit, the transformation, whatever you want to call it. How do they envision success and what their perfect life is like once this has been removed? And then you also want to keep an eye out for the language that they use, because sometimes you can pull some incredible sort of bits of copy that really resonate with people just by mimicking the language they use. Like, if you speak to 50 people and 30 of them use the same kind of language, that's language that you want to use in your messaging. But of course, a lot of people, especially when you're in a newer business, you might not have the existing customer base to go and research. So what can you do? Whenever I'm doing an audit and I can't get access to the audience, what I'll do is review mine. Review mining is a great way to understand what people think about existing services and the bigger industry, the wider industry, and sort of the problems that they're facing, and understand what it is that people want. So whether you're looking at launching a new product, whether you just can't get access to your customers to do this, this is a great way to find out what people want, how they talk about the problem, how they talk about the solution, what solutions that they want, what they like and dislike about competitor brands. And even if you do have access to your audience, this is just a great sort of supplementary way to get wider quantitative research. So basically, I have a sheet like this, and this is I have little things where basically I kind of thin it down. This is just where I basically throw everything into this one sheet. By the end of this, I've got a really good idea of what it is that we should be doing. And then I can drill it down to the most impactful, and then I can do like a final report for myself here. And you can get access to this by going to growthmodels.co and signing up for the email, and you get a copy of this through in the sort of template files that you get sent as a welcome. But basically, I'm going to do a very quick review mining to show you what we can do. So still going with Noom for the minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for reviews of Noom. And this is under the assumption that we're trying to launch a competitor to Noom. We don't have access to Noom users. We don't have any users of our own at the minute. But we want to understand what people like, dislike about Noom, about weight loss in general. You can do this with any of your biggest competitors to get an idea of how you can stand out from them, how you can differentiate yourself, and how you can offer something that they're not doing, whether that's in the copy, the messaging to help stand out, or whether it's actually building product features. So go to somewhere where there's reviews, and review sites. If you're doing B2B software, you've got g2.com. If you're looking at other startups, go to Product Hunt and see if anybody's launched on there and see what the comments are about that. Software like AppSumo is another one where there are reviews. You've got Trustpilot, you've got Yelp for restaurants and things. There's always a review service out there. Google My Business has reviews on it as well. And all that you're going to do, this is laborious, it's boring, but it works, is you're going to go through, and what we're looking for are a couple of different things. So we're going to be looking for the benefit, the big pain point that they feel. So what is that overriding issue that they want to solve, they want removed from their life? What was the moment of highest tension? This is kind of harder to find in reviews, but if you can find what it was that caused them to go out and look for a solution, that's great, because those are the kind of people that you want to target. Oh, if you're struggling with this right now today, we've got a solution type of thing. Any anxieties around, I didn't know if this would work because ABC, and any interesting language. As I kind of took this whole concept from Joanna Wiebe of Copy Hackers. She did a great article about this years and years ago now, but she actually pulled some great language for a hero section, which was for a rehab centre, and I think it was something along the lines of, she pulled it from an Amazon book, and it was, if you think you need rehab, you do. Great headline. But anyway, that's kind of what you're looking for with language. Basically, you're then going to have to just sit here and go through all of these reviews. It's boring, but it's very educational and informative. And when I've done this with clients, I often end up with a better understanding of who their ideal customers are and what they want than they do, because you're just spending time with the customer, so to speak. If you're truly committed to a new way of eating, I find that through learning and using that knowledge, I can be healthier and happier than ever. Commitment to the long haul and being open-minded to change worth every challenge on. There is hope too. I feel like this is you've got to be careful sometimes, because a lot of these are incentivized. Get a free month of Noom if you give us a positive review. So, you've got to be a bit careful. It's illegal in the sense of the review platforms don't like it, but I found 3 things that work for me. All right, so that's quite an interesting. That's kind of like a feature thing. Go in, push, lettuce. We want to wrap them yet. 3 things that work for me. So that would really be just around the language, and this is around. So here's what I have. I have a theme which helps me further organize based on So it's the features, because this is about logging food intake, daily weight checks, and the psychology of mindful choices. That's features that we can build in. If it's around a specific service, if you offer several different services, and you can drill it down by service and have one master sheet, I would recommend doing different sheets. What we can do then is we basically want to just copy where this is from, so that we can actually go back and double check if we ever need to. Some of the review platforms let you get a link directly to the review, which is nice. Enjoy reading the daily Noom lessons that help keep me grounded. I don't use the menu suggestions. I don't have a gym membership. I do walk every day. Orange, better routine of food choices. That's interesting. So it's a simplicity thing there. So this would be a kind of a benefit, really. And this is a features. And I would put in the notes here, because I know things like, what was it MyFitnessPal back in the day, where you could log all your food and it gave you all of this information, but it was hard to find the right one. You put eggs in and it'd be like, how many eggs? What kind of eggs? All of this. MyFitnessPal, complexity is an issue. Making the food choices a 3-tier option is good. And that basically, you can pull messaging from this, which would be the simplest way, how to simply do it. Log your food in seconds if you have a similar feature. I've saved money not eating out as often, and if it came like, ooh, there's a benefit. Financial. There we go. Always does this. Format, align, wrapping. Please wrap that. Okay. In an effort. Yeah. And I learned to like green grapes. Okay, cool. No judgment, just encouragement. That's a cool little. I don't want to open up just that specific review, but we can do then. So this one does offer no judgment, just encouragement. And this would be a language messaging. You're basically going to go through this, and what you'll end up with as you do more and more of these is you'll see things come up time and time again. What tends to happen is I'll list loads of stuff in here, and I'll go back a day later and I'll delete a lot of them, because I just be like, do you know what, this seemed important at the time but it wasn't. And basically it's that gradual sort of refinement and reduction down to the more impactful things. It's kind of like making a sauce in cooking, as you reduce, becomes more impactful, more flavoursome. It's the same thing here. You'll go back and you'll delete a lot of the things that aren't necessarily useful, and you'll end up with things that are kind of more impactful for you. And that gives you a better understanding of the audience. And then what you can start to see is there are trends that come up, whether it's the same kind of features people love, whether it's the same kind of messaging, whether it's the same problems, whether it's the same anxieties, all of these things. The more something comes up with all of these different users, the more important it is to be used in your own messaging and your own copy. And that's just it's just a good indicator of what you should be putting onto your sales material, your landing pages, your ads, your emails that are going out to people. If you want to, if you don't have direct competitors, you can also do the same thing through, these. So what you'll be looking for is ones with a lot of reviews. Not a diet book, Take Control. There you go. So this is just for books about weight loss. And again, go down here because, this is the problem that we're looking to solve. So you can't turn into one side. Go. Jesus, this is fucking novel he's written. So I would read all of this, and I'm trying to just quickly find anything in here that we could use. Too much research, yeah, but you'll do the same thing essentially. You'll go through and you'll start to list more things here, and it's around those big elements. You'll reduce them down the next day, let it percolate in the brain. Come back the next day, reduce it down to the most impactful things, and then as more and more trends emerge, this is coming up. That's when you move these over to your nice overview sheet. The most common pain points, the most common wanted benefits, the common moment, the highest tension, the most common anxieties, and the most common language. This is a different one. So it's the most impactful language, because not everybody's going to put in no judgment, just encouragement. And then you've got like a little cheat sheet here for when you're doing like research into the ad formats and all of this sort of stuff that I did in another video. You've got like a quick, fill in the blanks kind of thing that you can use, and then using like a good landing page template, you can easily understand the benefits, the pain points, all of this sort of stuff. When you're talking about the emails that you're trying to send to get people hyped up about it, you can do this sort of stuff. But it is a really good way to just better understand your audience and understand how you can create something that resonates with them. Very simple. It's available to everybody. You could probably get AI to pull out these key things right now, but it's actually a really good educational thing for you. You'll end up with a much clearer understanding personally of who that audience is. And I would recommend you do it. Or, hire somebody like me to do it for you. And I'll use it in the growth audit to show you exactly then how to use it throughout that customer journey so that you can gain more customers. Any questions, as always, let me know.